Hello guys, today we're gonna be learning CK3. We're gonna be using this guy in Ireland for this tutorial. Okay, so now we're gonna go over the UI. So first we'll look at the culture. You can see the culture, it opens up the culture map mode, and you can also see our traditions. You can just read up what these give you, and innovations. These are kind of our technology tree essentially. Just look at them and see which one you want. I mean, yeah. Next thing is gonna be religion. Here, essentially, yeah, you see what tenets you have, what buffs you get. You can see your holy sites. These give you more buffs. This isn't too important because we're still a Christian faith, so the Catholics won't hate us too much for being slightly different. So next thing is the lifestyle tree. So our starting character is going down the diplomacy tree, which is it's strong, but I think it's too much for beginners. Maybe you wanna pick something more simple like martial or stewardship. Stewardship just gives you more money, and martial makes you a better commander. I'm gonna go for stewardship. Next thing is our inventory. You can see your artifacts here. This isn't too important. Then we can look at the map modes. You can see you have duchy titles, kingdom titles, and empire titles. Pretty much how this works. County titles. A count can be a vassal to a duke, and a duke can be a vassal to a king. A king can be a vassal to an emperor, and an emperor can be a vassal to a hegemon. But hegemons are only in China on the start of the game, so I wouldn't pay too much attention to that. Next thing is gonna be this UI here. This is realm, pretty much what you hold directly. Subject, your vassals, laws. The more you go towards absolute crown authority, the more your vassals will hate you, but the more taxes you collect from them. You also get some effects here, but we're gonna go up to past limited crown authority. Now you can revoke their titles. We're gonna pass that. This is succession. We're gonna look into this later. Military, this is your army. You have levies, knights, and men-at-arms. You should always station your men-at-arms, of course. There are buildings that buff those even more. For example, the barracks make you spearmen and heavy infantry stronger. And then if we go over to our council, all of these guys I would just recommend leaving on default other than the steward. We're gonna put him on developing or capital. Then courtiers, you hire people here to get all sorts of little bonuses, but I just recommend getting a personal physician if there's a plague in your realm, but not much than that. Intrigue, you can run schemes, of course, but we won't be getting into that. It's not gonna be necessary for this Ireland playthrough. Factions, you should always keep an eye on this. This is where people are gonna rebel from you. And then decisions, you can just read up on these, see what they do and what you need for them. Activities, so this is pretty much how you convert money into prestige and piety. Uh, Hunts and feasts will give you prestige. Well, feasts also give you opinion with your vassals, so that can be useful sometimes. Pilgrimages are for piety. Talking about prestige and piety, let's get into them as well. So prestige is useful for adding succession laws, which I'll show you later, and you can go over here and just reform it or diverge. Next thing, our renown. This is just gonna tick up slowly over time. You can use this to disinherit your sons if you wanna control succession. You can spend it on your dynasty legacy tree. Right here, open legacies. You can see this. Once you get some renown, you can invest into these. I'd recommend the blood and warfare for beginners. Now up here, we see that our heir is not married. Now, a little personal strategy here is when your heir is only 18, you might not want to marry them off yet. So, because if they start having sons, they might have a bunch of them, and then it's gonna be harder to control succession. But that's up to you. Me myself, I am already old. I have one son, so I could marry someone who's infertile by searching here infertile. But I'm not gonna do this in this case. I'm gonna marry someone for an alliance, which I think I would recommend the beginners to do. We're gonna get Austria or Lausitz. Let's just pick up Lausitz. I didn't get into this earlier, but domain holdings, pretty much, you can hold a maximum of 5. In this case, this is 2 coming from being a duke, 1 coming from our education trait, and another one more coming from patriarch, which is just from this lifestyle trait we get, and 1 from being Irish. This is just from our innovations. So the first thing you want to do in your playthroughs is make sure you have the maximum of domain holdings you can hold directly yourself. This is very strong because holding all your holdings yourself is way stronger than having vassals hold it. At some point, you need vassals to control your whole kingdom, but whilst we still can, we're gonna revoke this. Now, usually you might get a higher chance of acceptance. In this case, he's probably gonna not let me siege his holdings. Yeah, there we go. He's gonna rebel now. We're gonna raise our army. Now, when people rebel against you, you stop collecting their levy taxes. so your army might shrink a little bit. Yeah, we're just gonna go in, try and fight him. We are the better commander, I'm pretty sure, so he doesn't want to do that. So now we're also, during this time, we're just gonna build up our lands. I'm gonna build up wetland farms here and farms over here as well. In the beginning of the game, we're just gonna play tall a little bit so we can burn off tyranny. So since the thing is, I could legally seize this land from him if I would have fabricated a claim on it and then fabricated a claim on it and then seized it, but I don't care about tyranny right now, so I'm gonna take this now for myself. And you see we had a son, so I'll show you how to handle that later. Now, this guy down south, since we're the duke of this land and it belongs to us legally, he's very willing to actually just become my vassal, which I'm gonna accept. Now, usually if someone's offering you vassalization, make sure to get normal feudal obligations from them, but in this case we're gonna be stealing his land anyway, so it doesn't matter. So now we're gonna run the same scheme again here, revoking title. This does give you a big tyranny minus opinion modifier, but we're gonna let this burn off. Okay, he actually gave in, so, and he also started constructing, so that's beautiful. Essentially, now we're gonna build up a bit. Yeah, this is an event you get as insular. Pretty much, you're gonna lose your concubine tradition, which is not really a strong tradition anyway, so we're gonna give it up. Now, for our lifestyle tree, I would go down architect. Of course, it's gonna be varying run to run. In our case, this guy, oh, he just lost his ally, and this guy is ally to the King of England, so we're gonna need to build up some siege units so we can knock him out before England joins, but we don't have that yet. We're gonna pick on the easier guy over here. He has like no troops, no allies, so just gonna raise our guys and go siege it. And also, we're building up our lands while we're doing this. There we go. Now, another thing you can do to make your army stronger is actually, instead of just spending money on making it making more men-at-arms, you can build these buildings that make your men-at-arms stronger. Like this one will make our archers stronger, so we're gonna build this. Now we're gonna start actually building up a big army. We're gonna max out this archer stack for starters. Well, Osiri over here is actually willing to be vassalized, and I'll take it under low feudal obligations. Low feudal obligations, of course, not ideal. I've completed these 3 traits here from stewardship, taxman as well, but I'm gonna switch to learning lifestyle now. You can do this when your character gets older and pick up medicine focus and go down the whole of body tree so your guy lives longer. Okay, now we're getting down our dynasty legacy tree. Now you can save your renown for disinheriting sons. I do have a son, but in this case we're actually gonna do a different strategy to control our succession. So what I'm gonna do is actually we're gonna start going down the warfare tree. We're just slowly increasing our army. I think we're gonna be ready for Ireland, for Dublin soon. He does have some allies though. We do have a daughter, so we could make some allies. Maybe let's ally Scotland, so we can use this just to take Dublin for ourselves finally. Get some more siege units. So yeah, we've built up to 30 siege units and 8 bowmen, the 3 skirmishers. We're gonna go in on Dublin now. Ducal conquest, and let's call in our allies, the Scottish. Might not be even necessary, but yeah, it was not necessary, but better safe than sorry, right? Oh, more coming. We're just gonna go start sieging them. Oh, I recommend not doing wars at speed 5 if you're a beginner, but yeah, let's just eat all of these guys up, and well, there we go, we won, so maybe it wasn't necessary to call in Scotland there, but better safe than sorry, right? Yeah, now one thing that's happening is this guy's expanding a lot. I'm gonna take that. Now, we do only need one more county for the Kingdom of Ireland, so we can just wait out that one guy in. So once we take Leinster over here, we can form it, so we're just gonna wait for that rather than trying to fight the big guy now. So you guys, we've saved up more than 1500 prestige, so the first thing we're gonna do is, throughout this run, we've been building up this one duchy over here. That's an ally war, but so to make sure that it doesn't split, as of currently, if I was to die right now, what would happen is succession, and I would lose this duchy. It would gain independence. We will lose. This won't be a problem once you become a king. It's just gonna become a duke within our realm. And if we had more sons, some of them will try to inherit maybe this castle here or this castle. So the way we're gonna get around this is by going to the Duchy of Munster and adding a succession law. This is a very overpowered mechanic that most people don't even know about. A feudal elective law is pretty much gonna let us decide who's gonna inherit this part of the realm. Of course, I'm gonna do my primary heir and son. Another thing with our primary heir and son, we still haven't set him up with a marriage, so I think it's about time to do that now. It's a risky maneuver to wait this long, but I kind of just forgot about him, to be honest. So yeah, this genius over here, she's 32 though. Okay, let's just marry these guys together. Hopefully they make some kids. So yeah, now we're almost done. We're just saving up money for Kingdom of Ireland because we're gonna be able to form it once we take this in a couple months. Hopefully we survive with this guy till then, but worst case scenario, if your realm would split right now, if I was to die right now, this guy would gain independence, which is completely fine because I would have a claim on it, and inheriting all of this way wealthier land is gonna be stronger than just having the county, this one city of Dublin. Now, if you were building up the county of Dublin over here, what you could do is add another succession law to the Duchy of Meath. This would let you inherit both all of these lands and the castle of Dublin over here. Okay, there we go. We can do a ducal conquest and just eat them up now. Now, finally, we can form the Kingdom of Ireland. Now, the King of Ireland. And we have this overpowered old CB here, which is Siege de Jure. Oh, it's only de Jure Duchy. Or we can forcefully vassalize him. We could forcefully vassalize him, but that would be a very strong vassal. So I'm just gonna take this duchy and then the other one, so we don't have one giant vassal. Because if I was to force vassalize, of course, that would be a bit of a too powerful vassal. So we're gonna start with these lands first. Right, we actually got all of this land directly for ourselves, which is great. So let's grant it out. All right. Also, by becoming a king, we can get one more extra holding, which I should have saved one of these better ones, but whatever. Now we have to wait 5 more years. Hopefully we survive that long. I have a hunch we won't. You know what? Since we're gonna die soon, we could just take this penalty. It's not great, but... Alright, I'm just gonna take this penalty. I don't think I care enough. Of course, you probably won't have to do this. You might have a different run. Oh, our son died, so our inheritance is gonna go pretty smoothly, I guess. Alright, there we go. So now, before you die, I recommend trying to just save up as much money as possible for your heir, because once your heir inherits, especially like mine isn't even fully grown up. And another thing I forgot to talk about, but you should always be educating your heir. Now, in this case, my primary heir died, so I wasn't doing that, but that's okay. Uh, Now that I am educating this guy, and he's actually gonna be a decent ruler. Oh, my primary heir is actually my grandson. That's terrible. He's very young, but it doesn't matter. If I give him enough money, it doesn't matter that he's gonna inherit while being very young. Primary heir is very young, as in my situation. You're gonna have to make sure to keep an eye on your power sharing mechanics, which I'm not gonna get into this in this video, of course, because it's a beginner's guide. But okay, we finally died. So yeah. Now, yeah, this power sharing mechanic, we have a selfless guy here. We're not gonna get into this too much, but so she's selfless, so it's okay. And once you can, you're gonna end this. You're gonna try and swing the scales once you get to 8 years old. I think you're in a decent situation now. You can't hold as many counties as you once could, so we're gonna give up this. And as you see, we inherited this duchy fully to ourselves. And our brother here, it's my uncle, but this guy inherited Dublin. So, I mean, with a 3,200 strong army, it's gonna be easy to keep this realm together, right? Now you're gonna keep playing tall, essentially. So, or you could expand once this guy grows up. It's really up to you. At this point, you have a very strong base, so I hope you enjoyed. If this guy does decent, I'm gonna incorporate some guides into my uploading schedule. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go fully into playthroughs. Have a good day. See ya later.